Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another video on the 2008 Harley Street Glide. Today I'm going to be changing out the seat and the windshield, kind of going to a new theme on the bike, and I think it's going to change the looks of it quite a bit. I'll show you how to do both of those. Both of them are pretty quick and easy, so let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is kind of show you around the bike so you can see what it looks like before the changes, and we'll compare it to afterwards. The seat I have on it right now is a Saddlemen road sofa. Pretty comfortable for long trips, but doesn't really look the best on the bike. Kind of gives it more of an old man, touring bike kind of a look, which is fine because it's comfortable. The windshield right now is a Clark custom windshield. It's a friend of mine that makes windshields. Oh, kind of one of the differences in them is it has this extra wing that sticks out, keeps some of the wind off of your hands on each side. Very nice windshield. We're going to be switching to a different Clark's Customs windshield. Here's a view of the seat from the other side. If you're thinking about buying a road sofa, they are pretty comfortable. You do sit up higher on the bike with one of those than either the stock seat or definitely the seat we're putting on it today. There's kind of the view you'd have from being on the bike of the windshield. Okay, so here's what I'm planning on putting on today. The windshield, like I said, another Clark's Custom. This one has flames cut out around the sides. I think that's going to look pretty neat on the bike. I'll get you another better view after we get it installed, but I think that's going to look pretty cool. The seat that we're putting on, you may have already guessed, is a solo seat, and it has a flame pattern stitched into it, a red flame pattern. So that'll kind of, it's not an exact match to the paint, but red's red. So I think that'll look pretty cool with the seat and the windshield on it. We also have a fender bib since we're putting a solo seat on. We'll show you where that goes if you don't already know, but it's got flames stitched into it as well. What's also going to match is on the bike already, I've got a couple other flames. You can see the controls here are kind of a flame design. And then also the shifter down here, both the heel and the toe shifter have flames on them. So I don't think it'll be too much where it makes it too gaudy, but I think it'll look cool with the windshield, the seat, and the controls all having flames on them. Okay, so we're going to start by taking the seat off and putting the new seat on. The way you want to do that on this particular motorcycle, and I believe the vast majority of Harleys, is taking the screw out. There's a screw right here in the very back of the seat. We're going to take that out, and the seat is held in the front by a tab, so you'll see that when we get it apart. A lot of Harleys just have a regular Phillips head screw here. You can also buy these little thumb screws, which is what I have, but it just unscrews right out of the top of the fender. We're going to save the screw because we need it when we put our new seat on. I'm just going to put that in my pocket because we're going to need it here in a minute. So once that screws out, you want to kind of lift up the back of the seat, wiggle and pull toward the rear of the bike, and it'll slide right out. So this tab right here slides into this slot on the front of the seat, and that's what holds the front of the seat down. They did change the way this tab is over the years. This particular bike has the tab on the bike and the hole in the seat. I had another bike, I believe it was an 05, that had the tab on the seat and the hole here between the frame and the tank that the tab slides up in. Either way, they come off the same way and install the same way. So the next thing I need to do on this bike, these two nuts right here are going to come off for our fender bib to be installed. These two nuts are going to get replaced with these nuts because they're going to be visible. So these are going to look a lot better once we put the solo seat on. So these nuts shouldn't be too hard to get off once you get them broke loose. Once you get them broke loose, you can spin them off by hand. So the next step, I'm going to put the fender bib on. Before I do that, I want to clean off the fender of the bike where the bib is going to cover. get any dirt and grime and stuff off of here, just in case that bib moves around a little bit, or the vibration, you know, from the bike between the bib and the fender. I don't want to scratch up my fender. You can see a lot of the stuff that come off of there. Just using spray away glass cleaner. It cleans a lot of stuff besides just glass. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna grab my fender bib. These sometimes can be a little hard to get on there because the leather gets cold and kind of shrinks. Yeah, so this one is almost half a hole off, but I can stretch it by hand far enough to get the thumb screw back in there, I think. Yep. And once I get this all put on here, I'll bring you guys in closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Now we grab the seat, get our ratchet out of the way because we're going to be looking for that. So kind of reverse of the removal procedure. Here's the slot in this seat. I need to take it, slide it up over the tab. Right there. And then I can fit the back of the seat like that down over the screws, and that's where these two nuts come in. You can use the old nuts that came off of the seat. It doesn't look quite as good because these are where you can see them. So you can kind of see already the solo seat has changed the looks of the bike a lot, from kind of that comfortable touring, heading across country, don't want to get any hemorrhoids kind of a look, to, I don't know what's happening here with my sockets. It's changed to kind of a more sporty look. Definitely not going to be as comfortable this way. I've ridden it with this seat on here before, and it's fine for running around town or whatever. But when you take off on a 200 or 300 mile trip on it, you definitely know it's under there. As I said at the beginning of the video, that Saddleman road sofa sits up a lot higher, and the reason for that is you have a lot more padding in the seat as compared to this one. So that's it for the seat install. You can see the fender bib there. And again, you don't have to have the fender bib. You can get away without having that on there, but I think it does look better. You know, I don't know. I kind of like it either way. You know, if you're paint under the fender bib right now, I don't know. If your paint underneath this bib looks all right, if it's not scratched up or whatever, it does look pretty good with just a solo seat and the paint from the rear fender showing. But, you know, for the theme I'm going for here, the flames, I think the bib looks pretty good on it too. Seat looks nice. It's not quite as wide. It's not quite as tall as the road sofa. You can kind of see there, comparing wise, how much shorter it is. I'd say a good 2 inches shorter. So let's get on to changing the windshield. So to change the windshield, to get it out of here, you need to take these 3 screws out. Really 2 reasons I'm changing the windshield. One, with the Saddleman seat sitting up higher, you need a little bit taller windshield. Otherwise, you get a lot of buffeting on your head, get bugs in the face, stuff like that. So one thing is that flame windshield is a little bit shorter, an inch or 2 shorter than this one, and 2 is for the flame theme. So since I have this windshield bag, now that I've got all the screws loose, I can just slip that up out of there. It just slides down in between the windshield and the fairing. I like to take the center screw out completely last. If you take it out before the 2 end ones, this thing has a possibility of swinging down and scratching your paint. 3 screws on this. They're held in here by rubber grommets, so you don't have to worry about keeping up with those. They're going to stay right in the chrome. At that point, the windshield just picks up out of here. It does have tabs almost. I don't know a better word, that they slide over down in here. They kind of go inside the hole and hold it. So, but that's it. That's all there is to getting the windshield out of it. I'm going to take this over here and hang it up so it doesn't get scratched. Grab our flame windshield. All right, so new windshield, perfectly flat. Obviously, we want to curve it by hand just a little bit to get it started down in here. Usually I'll do everything off of the center hole. I'm watching here to kind of keep it lined up left to right. Get that started down in and just keep working it until, I don't know if you can tell on the video or not, but it just popped over the brass grommet inside there. There it goes. So now it's hung on those grommets inside the holes that I was talking about a minute ago. Keeps it lined up easy. Keeps it lined up good and makes it easy to get these screws started. So, like I said a minute ago, I started or ended the removal with this middle screw, so I'm going to start putting it back together by starting that middle screw. Move to the ends, just get them started. Don't want to cross thread those. It's not super hard to get them started in there straight, but it is possible to cross thread them. So now, before I get the windshield tight, I'm going to slide this windshield bag back down in here, kind of get it where it goes. And now I can finish tightening up the screws. You also want to make sure you hold the screwdriver into the screw really well so that the head of the screw doesn't get stripped out. And you don't want the screwdriver jumping off and putting a big ding in your paint. So that is it for the windshield install. So now I'll get you down off of here and show you what the whole thing looks like. Okay, so here's the finished product with the flame seat, the fender bib, and then our windshield up here. Like I was saying, it's a little easier to see the flames now on the sides of it. Still need to clean the windshield one last time to get the rest of the stuff and the fingerprints off of it from install. But I think that's really changed the look of the bike a lot, from having the lower solo seat, the flames, the different windshield. Tell me what you guys think, which way you like it better. Do you like it with the more touring seat, comfortable seat, 2-up seat? I don't ride 2-up, so I don't really need a 2-up seat. But which way do you like it better? Which way do you think it looks better? I think it really changes the style of the bike as far as, attitude, I guess. But let me know what you think down in the comments. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day.